Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, Lascelles Anungu.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me back here. Second episode of the day. Shout out to all the people slowly coming into the chat room and the people watching in the future. Thank you to my sponsors, Equity Feed. Get 2 weeks free, equityfeed.com, best scanner on the market. And blackboxtrader.org, way to be in the best stock of the day. Only way possible is with blackboxtrader.org. Shout out to Bill Betts. What's up, man? Terry Cherry, Gold Hill Trader, Joel Kraft, Adriano, Corey Kwan, Woody Wright, Norman Powell, Lamprey Milt, Miss Patrice Jameson. Who else was in here? Stockafella, Gucci, Jeff Thayer, Life for Business. Yeah, we had a really late show early this morning, 1 a.m. to about 3:50 or so, like that, a.m. in the morning. So good show to get guys started for the a.m. And we're back. Had a great day today. Had a really great day today. Caught some really good tickers. I'm kind of down on my ass right now on MU, but, you know, I picked a deep in the money call, so we'll just have to figure out what happens tomorrow on that. Facebook continued to struggle. Facebook continued to struggle today. You know, it's much ado about nothing, just really much ado about nothing. At the end of the day, we're talking about a situation where, do you like Frosted Flakes or what is that, Wheaties or some crap like that? I mean, that's basically what we're talking about here. And, you know, they're not really being honest about that. And, you know, that's what's interesting about the stock market is that, you know, the people who are on the other side, oh, Facebook's got to do more. Facebook's got to do. Many of those people, they have a short interest. They have an interest in seeing Facebook stock go down. All right. They have an interest in seeing, because you got to understand this whole game is so rigged, man. This whole game is rigged. The people who are writing these articles, many of them are writing these articles for bankers and banks and institutions and private investors. You know, Blue Horseshoe likes Anacott Steel. That's real. That really happens, you know, across the markets. So the only way you can do that is just, you know, sometimes taking a longer term view on some of these stocks, right? Because, I mean, many a times these are very, very short-term, and this is short-term BS that's going on right now in Facebook. Short-term BS. We had a guy today on CNBC. Toward the end of the day, I want to say it was like 3:50, something late in the day, came on TV, said, yeah, social media, you know, it's at a top right now. It's coming down. What I believe is going to happen is that we're going to see Americans come back to broadcast television. We're going to see Americans come back in front of their televisions, sit with their family, and they're going to enjoy broadcast television again. I think we start to go long broadcast. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You obviously don't have children. You obviously, and the way they talk is as if like they really know what the hell they're talking about. You know, and they don't know, but they want you to believe that they know. All right. And to go out and to liquidate your positions in Facebook. All right, when so many other suckers are doing that. What's going on, Am Bullard? Redneck Trader, what up? Oh, I absolutely love when these markets crash. All the talk we're having something right now is the same conversation we were just having a couple weeks ago in February. Oh, my God. Oh, the market is pulling back. Oh. And then what happened a week and a half later? Oh, man, what a buying opportunity. Oh, you remember this? We were right here for all of that, man. Look at these low, these 150s, 153s, what is that, 149, 40s? We gained $34 a share from these mid-February lows. That's what was this? February 9th? When was that? March 13th. That was about a month and 4 days. So about 35 days later, you had nearly $34 per share from that February low. It's crazy, man. Shout out to Jeff Thayer. $14 put, 35 cents to 70 cents over 3 days. Morning sell for $18.36. Shout out to Jeff Thayer for that. Great call, my man. Great call on that. Jeff, I didn't even know you were into options like that. Were you just recently started getting into options, or were you always an option trader? Because I don't remember you talking too much about options. But congrats to Jeff. You said they did not went ape shit on. Oh, yeah, it's the same conversation on Wells Fargo. This is the same conversation on Equity Facts. I told you guys, this game is rigged, man. Oh, Wells Fargo, they need to be taken down. They need to be blah, 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 blah. You don't hear anything about them anymore. Equifax, we need to protect our security. You don't hear about them anymore. It's the same shit. So when all these guys are running their mouths, blah, 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 if the fundamentals haven't changed, you got to go long, man. Got to go long. That's why I'm still holding Facebook. I went in the red today. I was solid green yesterday on Facebook. But I got September calls, and I'm not selling here. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Stock Z. Kenny Dutton, what's up? All right. Shout out to the guys who grabbed some of those videos that I've been putting out. What else? What other stocks are you guys looking at? I did ears today for my biggest gain of the year. Ears for the biggest gain of the year. All right. When these stocks run like this, boy, when they run like this, and ears, anybody who's been trading the stock market for more than 2 years can tell you ears is a bullshit stock. Bullshit. This company will never, ever be profitable. They don't ever plan on being profitable. They don't want to be profitable. It's just one of those stocks that's going to end up in the OTCs eventually. Stop gapped up higher, all right, on Q4 loss. On a Q4 loss, got halted twice. I sent a message to, my broker, Interactive Brokers. I said, look, I need shorts on ears. Release some shorts. Right? Was able to grab a couple thousand shares just under the top after the second release of that hold. And boy, I just murdered that stock, man. I just murdered the shit out of that stock. Murdered the shit out of it. And yeah, it is what it is. And of course, I got the hell up out of there because they're going to squeeze you in the morning, more than likely. That was a great call. What's going on, Dr. Butterfly? Yes, indeed. Options on Paychex. All right. Let's see what Paychex is doing. I haven't checked it, Kenny, since you brought it up. All right. All right. So it looks like Paychex lost 3% today. You know, it's a market-wide kind of thing going on right now. You know, with these new tariffs that are being installed or talked about, Donald Trump is basically, you know, he's saying the trade deficit with China is unfair and we need to, you know, get that under control. He's instituting the idea of maybe anywhere between 10 to 15 billion dollars in tariffs. Now, the tariffs alone that they've talked about, economists coming out of, you know, on behalf of the White House are saying it shouldn't affect the economy, but obviously, you know, the markets think otherwise. The markets think otherwise, right? What does a NVIDIA, what does an Apple, you know, what does an Apple earnings announcement look like when Apple has to pay, you know, significantly more to produce in China and to bring their products back here to the States? We know that your Apple iPhone is made in China. It's not made here in the United States. All right. Does that mean people buy less iPhones? Does that mean people buy, you know, less, you know, software for the phone? I mean, how does it affect the markets? How does it affect the market? So that's playing into sentiment here. That's playing into sentiment here, and we're seeing good companies like Apple that had just crossed, right, a trillion. Didn't it just cross? Yeah, it just crossed something. I think they had just crossed the trillion mark, right, on market cap. At that top right there at 184, I think it had crossed the trillion. Someone could correct me on that, but they were, what, they're worth now, market cap, $869 billion market cap. Apple was going to be the first trillion-dollar company. Tariffs on China means more money for our electronics. Absolutely. That's basically what they're trying to say. That's basically what they're trying to say. So, you know, but, you know, nothing's been instituted yet. That's the thing that's bothering me. You know, it's the fact that, you know, but look, that's the markets, and you're just going to have to learn. And it's something that I'm learning now that I'm playing a lot more with these larger cap stocks. You just have to understand that the headlines move the markets more than I would want them to. But I just have to accept it, you know. One thing about trading penny stocks is you don't give a damn what's going on in the world, period. And you know what I mean? You could give a crap what the White House is doing, what the price of oil is doing. It doesn't matter. But when you're trading companies that people love, people enjoy, and you're dealing with, you know, thousands of other traders, I guess these macroeconomic events matter. They really matter. All right? You guys know what the number is, 305-600-2896. You know what the number is. Great gainer today. Shout out to all the black box traders. You had a great opportunity in guest today. Using my little 5-minute strategy with the 5-minute candlestick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And using that high. Oh, I lost my spot. There it is. Using that high, the very next candlestick broke it. Could have read it higher. Or, you know, if you got something that gets you in even higher into the day. But, again, a solid trade opportunity from there. Almost $2 a share from those levels. 516, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hi, Sal. It's Lamprey. What's going on, man?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Listen, I got a question for you, and I've only been investing for about almost a year now. And SDOW, I was thinking about holding that ETF long term. My friends are saying not to do that. Something about decay, and there were some other reasons why you don't want to hold on to that ETF for a long term. I was hoping you could explain to me why it's not a good idea to hold on to that as like a form of hedging bets in case the stock market does crash.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that, bro.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Lamprey, for the call. So here's the thing. I was talking to Bill Betts. Bill is still in the chat room. We were going back and forth on SDOW. And, you know, interesting enough, I have a position in SDOW. It's so funny he bring that up because I went back and forth with Bill Betts on SDOW. Now, Here's the thing. S-Dow is basically an inverse of the, Dow 30 financials, right? And if the market is down, S-Dow is going higher. Again, if the market is down, S-Dow is going higher. So as the market was increasing in value, S-Dow was an incredible shorting opportunity last year. And there were guys who made a lot of money shorting S-Dow literally to these levels, right? Literally to these levels all year. If you believe that the market is going to continue to go lower, yes, you will hold a position in S-Dow. And S-Dow will continue to increase in value as long as the market goes lower. It is not like a volatility ETF like the VIX, right? The TVIX or UVXY. Those are a little bit more aggressive. I would say they're a little bit more aggressive, and I think some people in the chat room would agree with me. But I think S-Dow can give you just as generous returns, right? You're not going to get the 15, 16% moves like you might get in the VIX. But as you can see what S-Dow did today, that's an 8% move. Majority of that came if you were already in the play the night before. Let's go ahead and take a look at that stock here on the 5-minute. As you can see here, you had the gap up opening from the night before, right? So the market opened up in the red, stock gapped up, and ran today as the market continued to sell off. We got more confirmation on the tariff news, and you can see here, toward lunchtime, we ran into that close. Now, if the market opens up lower tomorrow, guess what? S-Dow gaps up in the morning, and then if we continue to go lower, S-Dow continues to run. So yes, S-Dow is a great opportunity for you to hedge the market going forward. And if you got some cash staying by, you lay it there, and that's how you play. You play this inverse, and it's a great opportunity for you to do so. Great opportunity for you to do so. Yes, indeed. All right. Some guys like the TVIX. You can play it that way too. I'm going to ride with the Dow. You can play the TVIX thing too. You can play the TVIX thing too. Here's the TVIX thing. I mean, very similar. Again, you're going to get a higher velocity trade, right? TVIX, 24% move. But again, just like the S-Dow, the majority of that move the biggest part was actually in the morning. You gapped up, so you had to be in it the night before. And then, of course, as you see here, very similar move. Just bigger bang on the VIX. So it's up to you. It's up to you. It's really up to you. All right? And guys are saying as TVIX is cheaper and whatnot. So, I mean, it's up to you. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If you play the VIX long, right? You play the VIX long, and the market opens up higher, you're fucked. What you saw today, that 24% gain, could easily be the other direction if you get caught. That's why a lot of brokers, including interactive brokers, changed the margin requirements on shorting the VIX. You had guys get wiped out. As they were shorting the VIX. All right, and the market went against them. So be very, very careful on that, because I know, like, the VIX. Well, if the VIX is great when it goes in your way. It's great when it goes your way. When it doesn't go your way, you are fucked. Seriously, you can lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing trading the VIX. So don't get caught up into the gains so much as making sure you're in the right product for you. And again, take a look at ETFDB, the ETF database. There are tons of inverse trades that you can look up, commodity-wise, sector-wise, whatever it is that'll fit right for you. All right, trade for you. 772. What's up, man?
What's happening, brother?
Treasure Hunter. It's been a minute. What's up, bro?
Yeah, man. Shoot, man. It's been hard to catch up with y'all boys. The last couple of shows, y'all been running like illegal car street race. I like that late night, early morning kind of thing.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, man. What you got for us, bro?
Yeah, man. Hold on. Speaking of street races and cars, I remember last year when I was building my my muscle truck, you didn't want no part of the car stuff on your show. Now lately you've been talking about the cars. I've been listening to you.
Yeah. I just you know got lax on changing some things up, and yeah, man. I like cars. I just think at the time I didn't want to bring too much into it, but I see it is actually a benefit when you can kind of lax stuff up and kind of bounce from things to things, depending on how the day went.
Hell yeah. Now, I want to say, you know, I love my muscle trucks. Last year was Chevy. This year it's Mopar. I got like a Dodge Ram, you know what I'm saying, the 15 with the big Hemi and all that stuff. You might want to look into that, bro. I think it look real good behind the wheel because every time I get gas at the gas station, a lot of hoes be like, "Damn, nice truck. Can I get a ride?" You know what I'm talking about?
I'll look into it, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, dual pipes and everything. Yeah, but I got two tickers. Since only two. One of them I've been following last week. It been you know, I've been following the ships. I've been looking at drives, but I didn't get into it. I've been looking like you because remember last time we got into it, we made a fortune, and then they halted.
Dries, yeah. I remember that run Dries last year. That was 2016 actually. I think it was 2016.
Oh, 16 was it?
Yeah, that was 20. Yeah, this move in Dries, that was 2016. Yep, that was 2016.
All right. Yeah.
That was the show had just started a couple months earlier.
When you first started.
And yeah, man, that was an insane run that a lot of us caught, and we made a lot of money.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
On Dries, that was a huge play.
Yeah. So I seen him making some moves. I almost got into it today, but I was like holding off. So I didn't get into it, and now all of a sudden it was like in the red and nosedive. Mm-hmm. So I was in Tops, bro, since last week. It been my little safe haven. You know what I'm saying? Because it bounced between 17 and 20, somewhere everything in between. They've been very first rate, you know, like break out of this little funnel kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, and then lately, I don't know if it's going to hold or what, but lately I looked after hours and made like a little pop. You know, those after hours things can be kind of tricky, you know.
Right.
Yeah, what do you think? A little late news, or it's just a little fake out on the Tops after hours kind of?
Yeah, right now it's about 18 cents after hours. You don't know. We did have another shipping stock run. Well, did it run? Hold on. I thought I saw on the just before the show. I did see a shipping. Was that shipping? Omex, ticker OMEX. I don't know if that's. Let me check if that's after hours. No, that ran today. Hold on, let me see that chart. Again, like I said, you can't watch everything. All right, so the meat of the move was actually, there's nothing you could have done about that anyway. But yeah, we had a shipping stock run today, but I was watching Dries for the move. Nothing happened on it, but yeah, you had a play move today on OMEX, but there was nothing there for the most part, and I saw it didn't show up on Black Box either.
Mm-hmm. And another one about last week, about in the red, you know, like buying shit in the red and, you know, be usually in the green, was NVCN. Last week or yesterday, some shit like that. But today he did looked at an account. I was like, damn, not too bad today.
Yeah, decent 6% move, NVCN. Stock's really been in a really, you know, this is big time death spiral.
Yeah, right. That was there. I was in the red for a little minute.
And you're not even. I mean, for the move too. I thought the RSI will be lower. I mean, you're at 27. So I mean, it's still just not. Yeah, boy, that's an ugly looking chart.
For sure. Hey, you know me, man. I make a couple of, you know what I'm saying, a little something on it. I'm in and out. But if I stay with it, I'm in it. But, you know, if it's downhill, I'm out.
Right.
But, yeah, man, that's one place, bro. And I definitely keep up the good work, Sal. And don't say your shit's always off the chain, bro.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Treasure Hunter.
Anytime, man. You got it, bro.
All right. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. And not to correct anybody, man, but let's you know, I know we this is a lot of, you know, a male-dominated audience, but, you know, and not to be an asshole, but, man, let's not, you call women names like out their names like that. You know what I mean? I love women just as any other man, but I've never used the H word on here or the B word to describe women. So let's just keep that. You know what I'm saying? Got a little girl, dude. 646. You on the air? What's up?
Ken, how are you?
Ken, what's up, man?
What's going on this evening? So this morning, I get on my Twitter and I see that RxMD, they're not showing up to the conference today because of the snowstorm here in New York City. I mean, give me a freaking break. I sold it. I said, this is bullshit crap.
Yeah. RxMD,
you can't do that.
It pulled back today. I mean, but okay. So what are you saying? I don't know if it's. Would you consider that a double top? I mean, it didn't break the high, but that's not a big enough valley to call it that. But
right. But the MACD's going negative.
Yeah, it is true. That is true. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I guess it's a wrap on that one. So, but it was a good run, though. I mean, Ken. I mean, that was some good money, bro.
Yeah, that was good money. And then the other one, the FUSD. The FUSD, it went up again today, and the market that goes down 700 points. Not bad.
Yeah, FUSD. Let me see. Where's the RSI at now? Damn, 83. This thing just keeps going up, man. Now you got
the CEO keeps having videos he's putting out twice he has the Wednesday session on that CEO radio, and then like on every Monday morning he has another video out.
Okay, so where is he putting out videos, Ken?
Where does he put them out? Twitter. I retweet them every day, so I'll make sure I send it to you.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to give you guys his let me see. Ken's Twitter is @KenR0966. That's @KenR0966. And I want you guys to follow him, especially if you love OTCs, because Ken is all over that. Let me put put it in the chat room right now. And if you love OTCs, you need to be following this guy right now. That's his Twitter. And I think, Ken, that's the only social media you following guys on, right? I think that's Ken R.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there it is.
I mean, we'll be surprised if the thing goes with the $1.90 next week.
$1.90, really?
Yeah, that's this guy Bud Ranty that I follow on Twitter. He's the one that got me into this. Guy seems to know his stuff. So he's on Twitter at Bud Ranty.
Look, man, you've been doing awesome, bro. I mean, I think you brought the stock up at around 44, 45 cents. I can't remember where you started talking about this, but now we're talking about $1.22 stock, and I'm feeling like wow, you know what I mean? Like I can't wait for your next play that you bring up.
Yeah.
That's starting, bro.
Yeah, I gotta be careful what I bring up. It's not an easy market right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Selective.
But here's the thing, Ken. We know that OTCs get hot when the market starts, falling apart. That's where guys start to just get anxious. They want some gains. They want some easy money. And that's when the pumps start coming back, is when the overall market. That's why when you look at, some of my videos like 2014, that's when the market starts to show a lot of problems. That's when guys run to the OTCs. So I'm excited either way what happens.
So do you think because the OTC stocks are not controlled by the algos and the ETFs, because when the market really drops like today, they sell everything off.
Yes.
Mostly. But OTC stocks are a separate breed.
Absolutely.
That's probably part of it.
Absolutely. Yes. I think when guys are losing, and I've seen it, when guys are losing their ass on the higher tier exchanges and markets down and their trends aren't working and they're losing money, and you've got a nice OTC stock with low float and great volume developing, oh yeah. The attraction starts happening. It becomes easier to kind of build a following. I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe that, you'll start to see, stocks run that probably shouldn't run as aggressively. But, when you can't go into a large cap and get your 1%, 2% a day, they run to OTCs. Absolutely.
Yeah. So take a look. You remember that one, the RNVA, Renova? That was that one that was a good run. I did well with that. It went from like 0.5 cent to 2 cents, and then it's been consolidating around, I don't know, a penny. just keep an eye on that. 'Cause that's looking interesting.
I wrote about this stock on my website, Advanced Equity Research. I called it a buy over 2 months ago. I still think this is a buy. You're just going to have to be patient. They went out there, they bought the hospital, they put so much money into it, they got themselves delisted off the NASDAQ. The hospital now is up and running, new technology. They got all the approvals to start getting the reimbursements from, literally damn near every insurance carrier in the country. They also got approved for Medicare, Medicaid reimbursement. South Fork Hospital, I believe, was the name. So this South Fork Medical Center, I believe. You can correct me on that, but that hospital is up and coming. It's up and online right now, accepting reimbursements from these carriers. They are expecting anywhere between 13 to 17 million per year from this one hospital. They're going out and looking to possibly buy another one. So RNVA knows what they're doing. It's just a long-term kind of picture. You're just going to have to really look into the story and understand what's going on here. But I like RNVA long-term. Now they're in the OTC. They don't have to worry about filings. They're actually saving more money because they're on the OTC markets. But you're just going to have to be patient. And I like the way it's setting up here. I think if you got patience, RNVA could very well be a 4, 5, 6 cent stock down the line. You're just going to have to wait.
Wow. And my other favorite, the BYOC, I think, it's looking good. It held the 13s today. And it's, it hit that 50-day moving average around 10 cents, and it's coming off of it. And supposedly a friend of mine says there's going to be news at the end of this month. It's in a week or so about another acquisition. And I think it's turning positive here. I think that's something I bought a little of that today, just so you know. BYOC.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've been impressed with the run in BYOC. Don't know too much about the company, but very impressed with the way the stock has been trading.
Yep. So it's good. Did you play the TVIX today? I was wow.
No, not at all. I mean, I just got done explaining it to people. I don't trade volatility, but I mean, again, congratulations to anybody who played it. Again, this is a stock that you go into, if you like the market continuing that downside run. You can play it intraday for some insane gains as well. As you see here, you catching that afternoon low coming out of that 50 RSI here on the 5-minute, and MACD cross, RSI cross above the 50, and as you see here, it just tears it from, what is that, 840 to 950, so a full $1 gain right there on TVIX. The best way to trade it, I think, is possibly to hold overnight. That's where you really get the meat of the move plus the run, as long as the market continues to go in your direction, and that's the only way this makes sense for you. But yeah, green for traders who are looking to see more red. That's what that is.
Thank you. And one more thing, especially the Canadian marijuana stocks. Someone told me the reason they're down so much is because Canada was going to legalize in July. It's been postponed to August or something like that. So I'm wondering, the new quarter begins in April. Maybe it's time to start looking at some of these Canadian marijuana plays, like the ATTBF. What else? Something to keep an eye on.
Okay, yeah, that's something we can keep an eye on. I mean, I forgot the major one out there. It started with, I believe, a C.
CANN.
Is it CANN? I don't know. I think I wrote an article dumping on CNN. I was actually short CNN after that article, and a couple of them came after me about that. That was pretty funny, but
funny.
That was another one. I think, no, it's a 4-letter one that starts with an F. Or it starts with a C and ends with the F.
Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth. TWMJF.
Yes. Canopy Growth. TWJM or something like that.
TWMJF.
TWMJF. Yeah, so Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth is probably the only one that I could say that if I was playing into that, that's probably the only one I would ride. Now, it's not the cheapest stock in the world, but I would say it's probably the most legitimate Canadian cannabis stock out there. Legitimate operations. You can go to their stores. Solid, exposure to medical as well as retail. That's the kind of stock you can probably see, maybe even retesting some highs if that news follows through as you presented.
It's hugging the 50-day moving average for the last month and a half. That's interesting. We'll see. So that's it for that's it. I mean, the market is. What are you thinking? I don't think we're at a bottom yet. Will the QQQs get down to 150-day moving average? Maybe. There's no need
I
to
think
rush
there's
into
still
it.
some pain to go. I mean, this tariffs adds another layer of reasons for guys to take profits. I mean, we crashed through the 50 today. Where are we at the 100? We're just above the 100, 200s.
Yeah.
We're still quite a ways away, but that's good and bad because that also says we got quite a bit of selling that could continue on. And if the Trump administration comes out and lets us know that things are going to be even more drastic than originally thought, then yes, you're going to see more profit taking, and we're just going to have to figure out where these bottoms are. But I think eventually guys have to realize hey, look, the fundamentals are still strong globally. And right now we are all selling on news. I mean, that's basically what we're doing. We're selling on news. And are we honestly overreacting here? I mean, look at the numbers MU put out today. I mean, Micron today crushed it. It crushed it, and they're trading at single digits. I mean, it's a 9 PE, 9 times earnings. With the numbers they put out, that's $125 stock, but we're in a different environment, and that's what it is.
That's the key there, and maybe we'll test the February lows in the QQQs. I think I got down close to the 200-day moving average and went 151. Wouldn't that be great if it could just happen in the next week or so, right near the end of the quarter? Kind of interesting. It's the end of the quarter. Always these things happen.
Well,
and
then of course going into earnings, we have a huge run back up. That would be nice.
That's what I think.
Okay,
that's what I think.
They could be setting it up. I've said it on the market's rigged, so that could be very well happening. We'll see what happens.
So, it's a pleasure. All right, so we'll talk. Thank you, sir.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ken for the call. Appreciate it, man. Shout out to Ken. Yeah, those a random stock run. It was insane. $2.82 a share, bro. Trading at 9 times earnings. That's dirt cheap. That was the stock that I said was going to go to 100 for 2018. That's a dirt cheap stock, right? Just insanely cheap. Insanely cheap. All right, watching PayPal too. PayPal's another one today, dipped under the 50. All right, PayPal's is another one that I'm looking for a possible opportunity to buy, but that went negative today, breaking below the 50 RSI on PayPal. So a lot of good companies that make good money, huge profit margins. MU announced they got 51% profit margins in Micron. Shout out to Kenny Dutton. Yes, get those likes up. Let's get to your tickers in the chat room. Somebody talked about weed. There's weed, the canopy growth. That's the U.S. side, right? That's the U.S. side. I don't mind playing the OTC one. I think this has better liquidity. You can play this on this side too. This one has better liquidity. It's a little bit more expensive than I believe the Canadian CWJ one though. All right. ATTBF getting promoted. I'm not surprised. You got legitimate companies that get promoted too. Let me keep that 200 on there. AMMJ. Yeah, we saw gold run hard yesterday on Fed announcement, and then it cooled off today. We saw gold run really aggressively. In fact, we had a huge number of miners that were up yesterday. American Cannabis, AMMJ. Got good share structure too. But again, go cheaper. If you want to play, MJ, take some risk and go to those cheaper, stocks that could really show you, a solid return. I mean, something like AMJ, you might go 90 to 140, but why go 98 to 140 when you can go a nickel to 15 cents, right? I mean, you want to go for an even bigger upside potential by trading one of those OTCs that are, much cheaper and currently pretty depressed. What else are you guys looking at? Shirley Lewis, AG, that's the silver company, right? Silver still showing a bit of support here, but as you can see, it's trending a little bit higher. We got nice little trend starting up here. All right. Follow silver prices, follow the gold prices. As Fed rates started, being implemented, that could possibly change. We might see, commodities come in favor again. It's been quite a while since we saw commodities really start to make some big moves. If you remember going into 2016, all right, going into 2016, we kind of saw what happened there. And so commodities could turn again. But 2017, we knew there was no way that was going to happen based on the market last year. But, if we get a real turnaround, see if guys start to run around and grab some of those bars, Yep, the marijuana ETF, MJ, alternative harvest ETF, that pulled back pretty aggressively today. Look at that, man, losing almost 3.9% today. Wow, dipping below the 200 moving average. As you can see here, it's been below there before. Wow, that's a really strong candlestick for a market that really, not sure why it sold off that aggressively. 4%, almost 4% today on MJ. That's pretty aggressive. That's pretty aggressive. Kenny Dutton, you said you made a shitload of money on AMMJ. That's what's up. IML, let's see, he said IMLFF is going to be the best weed stock in 2020. You said this is going to be the best weed stock. I love the way it's bouncing off that 200. It's coming back. Let's see if it does it again. Who said that? K-Mac is going to be the best weed stock by 2020. All right. We'll see. That's far, but not too far. CRON, Crone. All right, keep an eye on RNVA at 1 cent a share. I keep telling them, Ricardo, that RNVA, Ken called about that too. We just got done talking about RNVA. Huge upside. You got to read what the CEO and the management have in place there. They want to create something where, I remember there was let me see here, a company out of Atlanta called Go Doctors. I think they're going out of business now. But anyway, it was it was this hospital company that owned like 15 mini clinics or emergency little 24-hour clinics. Some of them were 24 hours. And unfortunately, they just couldn't get their operational structure under control. But RNVA is basically saying, okay, we're not doing the mini clinic thing. We're going to just buy entire medical centers and run them as hospitals, as privately owned hospitals. All right, so it's just basically going to be a company that owns and manages hospitals. And hospitals make a lot of money. Hospitals make a lot of money. Do sectors like telecommunications become less impacted overall since they're the least represented sector? Least represent. I'm not understanding what you mean by least represented center. Telecommunications. No, that telecommunications is predominantly affected by, size of the individual company, technology that they're based on, right? Because there's some telecommunications companies like an FTR. That'll be considered a telecommunication company. It's a big time loser. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the company itself. One, the business they're in. What line of telecommunications are they in? Whether or not they have monopoly power in the areas that they operate under. It all really depends. It all really depends, right? Because market goes down, regardless, you'll still have a company like a Charter. A Charter will continue to, be a cash cow, right? The charter will continue to be a cash cow, and this is a company that's loaded in cash. It's a $300 stock because you've got almost 4 million customers paying an average of $115 a month. Although they are declining because people are cutting the cord, but at the end of the day, you're still going to your cable company for your internet, so they're still finding ways to make money and stay profitable. So, telecommunications, there are different ways to play it, but it depends on what technology that particular company is in. Do you trade in black box stock Discord room? Nah, I don't. I'm not chatting during the day. I'm too busy actually trading. I don't know how guys have time to chat, man. And that's just another screen to take my eye off the ball. Too busy looking for shorts or great longs. NIHD. Boy, this has been a runner for the last couple of days now, hasn't it? Here's NIHD. Here's the 200 moving average. Exploded above it. That's a buy signal. And, look, you can't catch them all, boy. But, man, 8.5% NIHD. Not going to chase it. I'm not going to chase it. But shout out to anybody who was long NIHD. That's a beautiful return there. NIHD. All right. Let's look at how far back you got in on an hourly chart. Even crossing the hourly, it wasn't too strong. As you see here, very uncommitted before then, but then you had a strong move of volume into the stock back on the 26. And a huge rush of volume, as you can see here. Figure out what happened at that time, because as you can see here, this stock was very lightly traded before the 23rd of last month. So something happened there that's really changed the way investors look at NIHD. Yeah, great return on that one. Great.
Another one.
Yeah. Nice. Bats with RNVA. What's up, Bats? Shout out to Bats in the chat room. Institutions bought 140. What are you talking about, Yusuf? Institutions bought what at 140? Okay, what's going on, Andrew Gladness? All right, let's keep it going. Give me some more tickers, guys. Let me see what you guys are looking at. You guys know I'm still trying to figure out what Home Depot is going to do. Home Depot, didn't have the greatest earnings, but it wasn't a huge miss. Home Depot sold off today. Looking at Caterpillar too. That's another, one that's going to be really feeling the pain if these margins continue. I mean, the government of China could basically come out and say, "Fuck it, we're just going to buy our own manufacturing." Our own what are the construction products or whatever that Caterpillar builds. Heavy machinery goods and services, and by the way, this president of China, I don't even know what to call him, if he's a prime minister. We do know China is a communist government, but this guy's basically made himself president for life. The American media does a poor job of telling you how other countries run their governments. They do a poor job of telling you news around the world, period. But this guy's literally just made himself president for life. He's basically surrounded himself with yes men. And Xi Jinping, I think that's his name. And he's basically made himself president for life of China. This guy's literally became a dictator, in China. He's created this image of strong man, kind of like a Chinese Putin. And he's in for a long time. So the idea is that he's created this aura surround himself. There's no doubt that he should fight back against what Trump is doing here. So we should expect, if this is for real, right? Because Trump tends to water down his bills as they kind of get closer. They tend to get watered down. if you remember with the first steel stocks, and then it was like, yeah, we're gonna import steel. Then all of a sudden, U.S. was out, Canada and Canada. I mean, Mexico was out, Canada was out. So that was a pretty weak bill. So we'll see how this bill ends up becoming as it gets closer. All right. Took care of the issue, getting in. Okay, that's what's up, Andrew. All right. Let's get to those tickers. Cool Cats. I think we talked RXMD. You know, look, it's topped out. It's topped out. That's the double top. All right. You know, some guys may say that's not a big enough valley. You know, the thing about a double top is you'd like to have some room in between both of the tops. But, you know, it is an OTC stock, and I'm going to call it a double top. I'm going to call it a failed, that second run, a failed attempt to break the high. So this is every bit of a reason for you to sell. The RSI MACD has crossed. That's another negative sentiment, and it is what it is. So RXMD could very well be going lower. We'll see what, you know, investors do tomorrow. We got another day to end the week. All right, got another day to end the week. OGRMF. OGRMF. You know, it's another marijuana stock. It's another marijuana stock, foreign stock. I want to say this is also a Canadian company, OGRMF. And I don't want to say anything bad about them. I almost wrote an article about them. I was really concerned of the paper that they were giving out for relatively cheap. I mean, there was some paper out there that was going for like less than $1, man. Less than $1. So you're just going to have to do your work on OGRMF. You know, does this company really want to be profitable? Do they really want to, you know, be competitive? They really want to be competitive, and you're just going to have to do your research on it. But last I looked, they didn't have great papers out there. Let me look at, real quick, I'm going to take a look at some of the financials because it has been several months. And let me see, manager statements. You know, they got some pretty financial documents too. They got leaves and color on it and everything. All right, so you're gonna have to do your research on it. Net sales. All right, so net sales is actually increasing. They improved gross margins for 2018 Q1. Adjusted net profit. So the company's still losing money. Company's still losing money, damn near practically 100% of last year. So things haven't changed. Net profit for Q1 was you know, negative 2.1 million. Q4 was negative 2.2 million. So, you know, slightly better, about, you know, what is that, 170, about 170,000, slightly better, but the company's still losing money. Still losing money. And when I look at, you know, Q3, Q4, they actually did better in Q3. And things got worse in Q4. So overall, you know, things aren't looking up for OGRMF. You know, things aren't looking up. And cash flow, cash flow, it's actually drying up. Cash flow is drying up. You know? Cash flow is drying up. But look at that paper they're putting out, though. Look at that paper they're putting out. They're putting out quite a bit of paper. Let me see here. Actually giving it, what is it? The prices have gotten better on the paper, though. Prices gotten a little bit better on the paper. On December 22nd, company issued 40,000 employee options to purchase 40,000 common shares to employees at an exercise price of $3.70 a share. This was back on December 22nd. So yeah, the prices have gotten a little bit better. All right, so there's an incentive for this stock to go higher, but the financials to support it aren't there. Let's keep it going. AMPE. AMPE. 10.4% gain today. Biotech pharmaceutical stock. Don't know anything about it. Give me a call. You know the number. It's on the screen. Let's keep it going. VATE. 11.8 brands. 11.8 brands. I like that news from March 13th. Company retires over 200 million shares. That's always good news on an OTC stock. When a company goes at and retires, 200 million shares. That's quite a bit taken off the float. And as you can see here, the stock is responding accordingly to that news. Find out. It looks like it probably already happened. And as you can see here, the stock is responding very well to that news. That's a nice looking chart, man. That's a very nice looking chart. Still got quite a bit of upside there in VATE. Nice play. Nice play, Jeff. Like that. I like that. That's a nice chart. All right, let's keep it going. NWKRF. 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 New strike. What is that about? Volume seems to be drying up. Volume seems to be drying up, Charlotte. So you let me know what's going on there. But volume seems to be going in the wrong direction. OGRMF is a legit company. I'm not saying it's not a legit company. I'm just saying it's not a profitable company. I'm not saying it's not a legit company. I'm just saying it's not a profitable company, and the financials aren't going in the right direction. You know, total expenses. Look at total expenses. Glancing back at it again. Comparison from November 2017 to November 26. Total expenses are up 200%. Sales and marketing, almost 100%. Sales and marketing up 90%. General administrative cost, up 100%. You know, loss from operations, up almost 170%. All right. They're losing more. They're losing more money this year than last year. So I'm not saying, I'm not saying that they're not, profitable. I mean, they're not a real company. They're just not profitable. Said Germ was a big mover today, short for tomorrow. Cannabis. It's a long-term investment. Okay. TRCD bought a company and building here in Mass. I think it's out there in Cali. Yeah, but I mean, but you got to understand. You got to understand that many of these OTC stocks are like that. So don't, that's just how they are. That's just how they are. Remember that when they came after me on PTOTF? When I wrote about it at $1.80, now sitting at $1.37 and going lower. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got a button on something, you got a feel for something. Finally, looks like the word is getting out that company will never ever put a missile defense program together that is even vaguely going to be competitive or the real deal. You said you want to do a private paid group and let's get money together like Warrior Trading Group. A private paid group. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by private? And what is Warrior Trading doing? What is Warrior Trading doing? You know, I never thought he was a legit trader, but I know a lot of guys who think highly of him. You know, somebody who's taking $2.99 a month from you, but not showing you anything. All right. PSDV up 4%. There's a 200 MA. Getting close, but it's been funneling in that. You know, that's an ugly looking chart, man. This thing has really been. But look for the breakout, right? I mean, 4% gain today. You got some multi-month resistance up there at the 140s. You're at the 120s, right? So, you know, this could possibly do something. The 200 working its way lower as the stock has been, you know, pretty beat up for 2017. He said Warrior Trading is pumping just like Deckmark. Hey, you know, Deckmark, he was on the show. You know, shout out to Deckmark Trading. You know, but I never thought that Warrior Trading guy, you know, when you start taking money from a company like SureTrader, you know, I don't have no respect for you, man. You know, when you start taking money from a broker like that, to push guys to put their money in a foreign company that has 0%, you know, 0%, you know, protection for your money. You know, that's shady as fuck, man. What's going on, Bill Betts? Yeah, we talked about ears, Jim Gray. That was a great short for me, man. My broker had shorts on ears, and I just went all in, man. I just went all in, you know. And there are quite a few stocks this week that made moves just like this that I should have taken advantage of, but they didn't have shares at the time or enough for it to make sense. But there were just a ton of ears shares available. I took what made sense for my account, and I went in, man. It was a $3. Got to as high as $3, and just nailed it. Just really nailed it. After 2 halts, you know, you're gonna have guys who are just gonna be like, "Fuck this, I'm out of there," and that's basically what I did. It was a nice trade. I got out of it because it could very well squeeze you tomorrow. It could have a secondary run because they know guys are short. And you might have these greedy bastards who just, you know, holding for that last 10 cents. That last 10 cents on that short, and they want that. But that's a great opportunity for someone to come in from a chat room, and short. Nah, Kenny Dutton, I don't want to take no money, bro. I'm so, you got to understand, man. That's I don't want to put myself in a situation like that, man. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm making good money doing what I'm doing. And for me, it's about freedom, bro. It's a freedom from time, freedom from, you know, the stresses of dealing with what other people need and other people want. I don't want anybody's money. I don't want anybody calling me because the stock is up or down 1%. I don't want none of that shit, bro. You know, guys are happy to put their monies together and do their own thing, but I don't want that stress. I don't want that stress. I don't want that responsibility. I'm good. You know? Yes, indeed. Let's keep going. ANIV. You know, I just started doing the ANIV or AINV. Okay, AINV. I just started doing the replay thing for TradingView. I saw it there, but I just really kind of started doing it. I started there, but I just started really doing it. Callie Rob said, "I'll stream my stream, send money to." To his website, to his email address. With the whole replay thing, you know, there's a replay button now, and you can decide, you can play the day over again. That's a pretty neat little thing. So you can play the day over again, right? Zoom out to give yourself a little bit of space, and you can play the day over again with the little, let me see, hold on, how does this work? So I pressed it, and then you can play the day over again like this. And then you can play, you know, the day over again. I think they're still working on it and getting it more fluid. Obviously, this is not a 5-minute, you know, this is more like a 1-minute kind of thing. Well, you can slow down the speed too. But I just really started playing with this thing. And the only use for this is really, I would say, is more or less like candlestick memory. You know, if you want to memorize candlesticks, try to test yourself. What's being developed here? Let me zoom in a little bit closer, see how it will show you intraday. But other than that, I mean, that's the only use of this thing. All right, but some guys would take heed in that, and they might like something like this. But you know, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. Nice. Yeah, I want to exit that mode. You know, but nice little thing they're doing there with that. Stock guy, you said he's a fucking clown. I always knew there was something strange about that guy, man. You know, I tried to bring him on the show, and he kept avoiding me. And then he's got like this other shady ass partner dude. I emailed him. I was like, look, man, I'm emailing your dude. He's not responding to anything. I'd just love for you to come on the show and, you know, tell us what you guys got popping off. And, you know, oh yeah, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm like, man, this guy's just, he's full of shit, man. He's full of shit. But, you know, like I said, man, the guru business is the business to be in, man. The guru business is the business to be in, because there's a sucker out there who's going to pay you $2.99 a month for you to copy and paste, you know, from you know, The Intelligent Investor or some other book out there that's already been in print. All right? There's nothing new under the sun here. And that's what it is, man. You say he pumps low flows to his... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You already know that that's what they're doing. I retweeted a guy who said that today. Ross and the boys moving from pump to pump. That's basically what they do all day. You know, every day. That's basically what they do, man. You know, you said YouTube and subs, that's how he gets his money. Man, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. That's crazy. What happened to that guy? I made sure I blocked him on YouTube, so I can't see none of his stuff. Does that creep Financial Education still make videos? You guys know who I'm talking about? Financial Education, the guy with the child molester mustache. I can't see none of his stuff. I block this guy. That guy is anything but a traitor. You know, some guys just make it so obvious. Well, we looked into AG. We looked into AG Shirley Lewis. You had brought it up earlier. We talked about how commodities have yet to really show a turnaround. And as you can see, commodities have been, you know, strongly bearish for quite a while. As you see here, staying under the 200 moving average. And even when we look at the weekly, you know, we're not seeing yet support for a turnaround. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Continue to watch it and see what happens. Andrew, you said he still makes videos. Yeah, that guy blows, man. Hello, subscribers. Thank you for watching. Hey, for Netflix, Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. It's just, I can't stand that guy, man. Ugh. Let's keep it going, man. TOPS tops. Damn, we pulled up tops. Damn, this thing is so beat up. Let's go to the daily. I can't even see the weekly. It's so beat up. Hold on, man. I think I gotta get rid of this movie. There we go. Yeah, still, look at that, man. It's so beat up, dude. I gotta zoom in on damn 200x just to see it. Yeah, let's get out of that, man. As you can see, it's a terrible stock, man. Tops is a terrible stock. It's just real beat up. It's just real beat. It just sounds like Barney. That's how that motherfucker talks, though. That's how he talks, dude. That's how, you know. I just can't keep looking at that beard. He reminds me of like these movies that I used to like those what was that movie that what's his name was in Texas, something about surviving AIDS and shit like that. Matthew McConaughey was in, but back in the 80s, those guys who used to go into bathrooms with each other and go into that glory hole type bullshit. That's what I think when I see him. You said at least Tim Sykes posts his track record. Well, my thing is Tim Sykes has guys out here who have actually taken lessons and actually like implemented them and can vouch for him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I will always respect that guy, because I actually took some shit from him and it worked for me. Oh, come on, Chris. Come on, man. He said that's my dude, financial education. Give me a break. Dallas Buyers Club. Yeah, there it is. Man, ain't nothing you can learn from that fool, man. ESEA. ECs. ESEA. ECs. 4% gain. That's very low volume, though, man. Very low volume, though, man. AKAO. Let's take a look at that one. AKAO. AKAO. There's a ticker. All right. That one's nice little turnaround. You got some turnaround action happening here on AKAO. Let's look at the weekly. That's a nice weekly candlestick. That's a beautiful move. Look at that. Beautiful move with this week's price action. That's a nice candlestick to end the week with, man. That's a nice candlestick to end the week with. Nice. Moving above the 50 moving average, or 50 RSI, excuse me, on the weekly. MACD cross. And I wouldn't be surprised. There it is. Look at that 50 moving average. That was actually right. Smacked it. Didn't pass it. Smacked it. And looking good. That's actually a pretty nice little buy and hold trade. Not the cheapest stock in the world, right? It's a $13 stock. But as you can see, it's got nice volatility. Starting at, a couple weeks ago. Was that 4 weeks ago? 990s, 980s. Now you're at 1316. So it's got a nice, it flows nicely. It flows nicely. So it can definitely add up over the course of a period of time. As you can see here, this is a stock that trends nicely, moving above that 50 RSI line. As you can see here, last time it was above it and stayed above it. It traded very nicely. All right. Library lesson for $199. DNF Bob, who's got a library lesson for $199? Dude, anything Warrior Trading is trade. There's a guy on eBay selling everything that Warrior Trading has for like $25 on a USB. On a USB drive. You can go on eBay right now. Let me show you. Is this still up? Let me show you right now. I'm going to give you the link. Warrior Trading. Let me see if it's still up. Okay, hold on. Stock market. I think he hit it under something else. Stock market. Because I bought some stuff from him before. I won't say what I bought from him. But he sells all the guys All their damn courses. The stuff that I couldn't download off Pirate Bay. The stuff that you just can't find off Pirate Bay. This guy has them all. What else? Let me see. Stock market. Hold on. I'm gonna give you guys his stuff. I'm gonna give you guys his stuff. Hold on. I might have to log in real quick to my email address. Real quick. Let me see here. All the shit he's got. He's got his whole thing. Shout out to Francis Frobos. Francis Frobos, $20 donation. Appreciate you, bro. All right. Let me see here. I'm going to show you my hookup on eBay. My hookup on eBay. Yes, that's his name. His name is Good Sense Trading. Good Sense Trading. On eBay, his name is Good Sense Trading. And yeah, that's his name on eBay. You're going to have to find a way to contact him. Good Sense Trading. Let me see. Is his account? His account is still there, but shit. Making me log in and do all that bullshit. Just pull up his damn account. But that ad that I usually go through isn't there. Let me make sure real quick this guy is still up. Let me make sure it's still up. Is this stuff still up though? Oh, god damn. I'm gonna have to come at this later. But that's his name on here. That's his name on here. It's Good Sense Trading. And he's got the Foos program. He's got all of them. He's got all of them. I'm not gonna name the other stuff he's got, but you know who he's got them too. You know who he's got them too. Yeah, and he sells them in packages, $25 for 2. All right. But yeah, man, you know, like I said, that warrior trading guy, he's probably not going to teach you nothing. He's probably not going to teach you nothing. Do I live stream on Twitch? No, but I feel like I should. But YouTube is doing a good job right now. For a second, I thought about going over to Twitch, but YouTube does a good job because, you know, that's where most of the trading videos are all. But I need to be putting some trading videos over there at Twitch too. You know, warrior trading ain't going to teach you nothing, man, because there's not one guy who I know has went over there, came back, and said he learned anything. Have you seen any videos from anybody saying they're a successful student of warrior trading? I haven't seen one motherfucker say that. All right. Fraud tried to save him. He'll vouch for him. I remember Warrior. He got Stock God into that shit and told him it was a fraud. Well, Stock God, you paid to join his little clique? MNGA. You said you made something off his strategy, but the shit is garbage. MNGA. What? MNGA was being promoted for a while there, but I guess it didn't go right. And it looks like they dumped it, but it was being promoted for a while. It was being promoted for a while, and I guess they must have gave up on it. By the Penny Stock Egghead. The Penny Stock Egghead, his website. NMGA. I forgot his name. His name pops up on, let me see, MNGA. Yeah, he was promoting it for a while, and then, you know, it just kind of went away. It just kind of went away. Lion Stock Alerts put out some kind of blockchain stock that should be cropping up. So we'll see what kind of bullshit he's talking about. All right. We'll see what kind of bullshit he's talking about. And then we got an email this morning on GLDG. GLDG. Look at that bullshit, man. This was supposed to be his pump. This was supposed to be his pump of, I think his pump of the month. That's what he said. Pump of the month, GLDG. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. That was supposed to be his pump of the month. Just flush that thing down. Google is creating a blockchain. Let me see, A-time. Yeah, we talked about this last week. There's some really cheap semiconductor stocks, man. That aren't going to be affected by what's going on, is because they're already really, really cheap. And, A-time is another one. I put out that list. You can get that list easily from InvestNips. InvestNips. Let me give you that link that I got. I'm going to post it in the chat room. The complete list of semiconductors listed on the U.S. exchange. I'll put that in the chat room right now. Look, semiconductors are the future, man. It is what it is. If you're looking for a nice short-term swing, especially if these tariffs don't come out being as painful as we think they're going to be. But many of these U.S.-based semiconductors, it's really interesting because they manufacture here in the United States. So some of those smaller ones don't even have any international exposure. They have literally no international exposure. So it's a great opportunity for you to be able to get into some of these that again, read the story, right? Make sure you find out what kind of semiconductor stock they are, because it's very, very different. Some of them are different uses, different. So get that. That's the complete list. And InvestNips is a website you should have anyway. I mean, it's a stock you should always, a website you should always be looking at in terms of, finding great plays. GERN is another one, incredible run in GERN. I'm looking at this stock as a possible short next week. But it's too, this actually was a good short today, but too risky overall. Because last time I checked, the float, I think it was under 20 million, right? It says 158 here. No, that's not right. I don't think that's right. But that float it moves a little too tight. Because just the way it's been moving on the daily, that float is a lot lower than that. There's no way this is 150 million on that float. I think it's got a much smaller float than that to move this aggressively. But I don't even want to dare short nothing like that. What's going on with the sports gaming? Nah, man, I'm still waiting for it. It's day to day, bro. I mean, sports betting is this day to day, man. It could drop at any time. Right now during March Madness is the perfect time for us to hear something. There's a lot of illegal sports betting going on right now as we speak. Here in our country, and some would say overseas as well. But as you see, Forbes, they just put out an article on it an hour ago. Look at that. Let me see here. Forbes just put out an article. Let me see here. I'll spread this in the chat room. Bet on U.S. Supreme Court sports wagering verdict to change game in Asia. Okay. If court overturns, many observers expect the United States will be free to legalize sports betting, and it is likely many would do so. Obviously, duh. Asian jurisdictions would either join the U.S. and see top players lured to the U.S. So they're talking that top players in Asia would come to the United States. Let me tell you something right now, man. Any Asian basketball player, baseball player that any team in the United States wants, they can go get right now. They can go get right now. They went and got Ichiro. They went and got Hideo Nomo. Shout out to Hideo Nomo, man. That used to be my nigga back in the day. Those of you guys who know baseball, you know Hideo Nomo. He used to have that incredible reach, like all the way in the back. Like, oh, god damn. Shout out to Hideo Nomo. All right, let's keep it going. But yeah, we're still waiting on that decision. LPCN, 8.4%. L.4, 8.4%. All right. Well, yeah, Black Box gave GES today. That was a more expensive stock, though. There was GES. There were a few other runners. But they were very short. I mean, if you want to call, Ears a runner, Black Box gave Ears. When did they call out Ears? They called out Ears early as hell, man. Let me see here. They called out Ears. What was that? They called out Ears at 9:48. 9:48. GES was another one. They called GES pre-market at 9:13. All right. GES, they called it at 9:13. If you're into pre-market trading like that. 9:13. Right, at $17.32 a share. Stock ran to $19.91 a share. So, it's kind of up to you on how you want to play these scans, man. Yes, indeed. All right, what else? You said, yeah, you played Ears. That was great short, man. Great short. Great short. And by the way, those of you guys who are in Black Box, you're going to be grandfathered in because the price should be going up. They told me about it, and they're looking to possibly raise it to 119. But if you got it at 79, you'll have it for 79 eternally as long as you keep that your login ID. So whether you stop using it and you come back 6 months from now, you'll always have that $79 price, no matter what they move forward in. All right. He said you get more time with option plays. Yeah, do those verticals, man. I'm telling you, with these verticals, do those verticals. There's some really great vertical trades going on for you to make some money in right now. Expiration is tomorrow. And, I showed you guys my MU calls that I'm not too worried about. I got some deep in the money calls. I got some, I got some out of the money puts. So for me, it's, we'll see what MU does. They crushed the number. They completely crushed the number in MU. I don't know what the market's thinking, but it is what it is. Yeah. He said, is it free? No, it's not. Definitely not free. You said you need another 1,000 to open a new account and trade options. Another 1,000. That should be easy to get, boy. Sometimes you got to take a second job or whatever you got to do, man. Whatever you got to do to get that money, get it, dude. I mean, not anything. Don't go rob nobody or anything like that. But, do what you got to do to make your money, man. Because anybody that I know that's taken a second job for a short period of time, worked more hours, they become very disciplined with the management of that money, especially when you get it the hard way like that. Those are the guys who really pay attention to risk management because they know how hard it was to get that money, especially. Pandora. 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 I've been following the iHeartRadio bankruptcy, but, you know, those of you guys who may remember, iHeartRadio used to be a publicly traded stock, man. It used to go under the ticker IHRT, which was a OTC stock. Oh, damn, it's still there? Okay, yeah, here's the queue. All right, shit. All right, didn't know it was still trading. All right, yeah, this is iHeartRadio. The company had like $2 billion in debt or something like that. It was ridiculous how much debt they have. But they got a great app, bro, man. That iHeartRadio app is a great app, man. You know, sometimes I'll be listening to radio in like New York City, or you can switch to hear talk radio out in LA or hear radio out in Miami. I mean, they got a great app. I love that iHeartRadio app. Great stuff. But that company's got a lot of problems. Robinhood free options, can't beat that. Yeah, Robinhood, but here's the thing, man. You can't do verticals on it. I don't think. Yeah, you can't, because the way they make you select the options is like one at a time. So you're either doing, you're either doing a put or a call, and it is what it is. You can't like combine a trade with more than you can't. It's pretty frustrating. Yeah. Said become a ref, work kids games on weekends. That's a great idea. WFKS. That's a great idea. You know. I told you guys when I, first got into the promoting game a little bit, just to get my money stacking up, I was substituting a little bit. But I told you I kind of stopped doing that shit. I was gonna get myself in some trouble. Let me see what I think about the esports industry. I think it could be very promising, man. I think it could be very promising. I think you still got a lot of, still a lot of hype though. Still a lot of hype surrounding esports, because a lot of guys who watch esports, you're already a gamer, and the esports industry has yet to create the kind of environment where somebody who's not into gaming is going to sit down and watch guys game. When you watch an esporting event, everybody who's watching already games. I don't understand that Strangle, Iron Condor. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Iron Condor stuff. Now the Strangle stuff, put vertical, call verticals, we can do that. But Iron Condors, butterflies, I'm not familiar with that stuff. I'm still learning that stuff. Yeah, esports is very niche, but you have guys who are making a lot of money in esports. Anybody here been to a competition? Anybody here been to a tournament, tried to, make some bread? But they're guys who really take those things seriously, and they are out there what you would call professional gamers, guys who, are professional gamers, and it is their job to game. And you have companies that sign guys and do all of that. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Says Strangles are amazing with profit, high volatility. Absolutely. I agree with that. And I said those put verticals, those call verticals can get you in some of these options really, really cheap, man. What I have on Walmart calls. I have a position in Walmart. Let me see if my phone is 5%. Let me show you what I got. By the way, this interactive broker mobile app's got to get better, man. It's not as good as nowhere near as good as TD Ameritrade. So I have Walmart September 21st, $85 call. Walmart September 21st, $85 call. I'm down $348 right now. September 21st, $85 call. Walmart. That's what I have. All right. So I got a deep in the money call on Walmart. Still have my MUs and my Facebook. And that's pretty much it. And then I'm short CBDS. Of course, I'm still short Buds. Still have a position in INFN. And that's it. That's it. But yeah, I like Walmart, but I'm putting my time out in Walmart because I'm looking for them. I'm looking to go into the next earnings. I want the next earnings here in May. I want to go into earnings for Walmart because I think now they're underestimated. So I really want to go into the next earnings cycle for Walmart. If you're a member, Walmart instituted their home delivery program, and I think it's gone better than expected. I think we got a surprise here. As you see here, we have yet to really break that 38 because I'm looking to add more if we break that 38 RSI. If we break that, I'm going to add more to it. Said Option Alpha is great. Watching them on a third and fourth now. This is your first year in a new. Yeah, Option Alpha is a good one, but just watch Tasty Trade, man. They got a whole website and actual shows you can watch at any time dedicated to options. The whole operation is dedicated to options. I've learned a lot of information from Tasty Trade. If you're serious about that option stuff. But yeah, John, to answer your question, I'm long Walmart, but I'm putting a lot of time in it because whatever this bullshit we're going through now, and I think it figures itself out, and we get back to to some higher levels. We get back to some higher levels, So even if we get back to even 90 or 91. I was really looking for the stock to get back to 91 and for me to liquidate. But, the way things are going, we'll see how long exactly I'll be holding on to this. Now, if we test the 85, then I got to really start thinking about some things here. We're going to really start thinking about some things here. Options 101 on Tasty Trade is nuts. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, go to their website. Yeah, definitely go to their website. Great stuff to learn there. Appreciate you, Chris. All right, you played Nintendo on your 60-inch TV. Like, this shit is terrible. Yeah, man, I mean, those old Nintendos are not made for TVs that wide. You down Walmart because you're in strike price? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because where I bought, and it pulled back today, pulled back 1%. So that was a part of it too. I bought this yesterday. And yeah, Walmart pulled back a little bit, so my option has been affected. But then again, like I said, I got a lot of time on this, so it's not one to run. For example, look at, you got a ticker like Win, for example. You get it when nobody wants it, right? Like, blah, 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 but you just give yourself a little bit more time, and next thing you know, 163, 164 in the money option during that he's sexually abused, he bent me over in the table in his office, and he stuck his penis in my mouth and blah blah blah. Well, nobody's talking about that now in Win. Now Win's pulling back just like the market, but look, it went from 160s to the 190s. And it was a $30 move, over a course of 2 weeks. A $30 move in 2 weeks. So you just sometimes got to get through the bullshit, man. Just kind of get through the bullshit. And, Wynn is dealing with what it's dealing with now, overall with all across the board. I mean, you're seeing these stocks sell off. I saw what happened today. MGM was another one, too. MGM is a winner, What do I think about the fate of Toys R Us? I think that's fucked up, man. And the fact that the owner of Toys R Us, the guy who created it, he died today. So, I mean, he was already old age, right? I think he was in his 90s. But still, I mean, that had to contribute to his passing somehow, where it was like, okay, what I've created is over, and he's gone, right, into the other side. So he's transitioned. And I have no doubt that Toys R Us closing probably had something to do with that. Yeah, you're talking about the in the money puts on Wynn right now. Well, I was talking about the in the money calls. I was talking about the in the money calls during the time of, the sexual harassment claims and Wynn, right? Going back to how that greedy bastard Warren Buffett, how he talks about how, you want to buy when everybody is fearful and sell when everybody is greedy, right? So, buying here when everybody was fearful, blah, 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 the charges, possible charges, the talk, nothing's happened to the guy, nothing. He let, his chairmanship title go. But other than that, he's still a fucking billionaire. Steve Wynn is still Steve Wynn. He's still the man. Nobody's suing him. Nobody bringing up any charges. Nothing. Right? And then, if you didn't let the BS get to you, you were able to, like I just said, cash out with almost $30 a share placed onto the trade about 2 weeks later. SPXU calls. SPXU calls. Yeah, it's really interesting to trade ETFs like this. Usually when I trade an ETF, I kind of like a more expensive one. Just because with these, they're kind of like USO where you have to like really load up, man. You have to really load up. Where is it? Because they tend to be. Does this even have liquidity? Oh yeah, it's actually pretty liquid. XPXU is actually pretty liquid. Wow, I actually am surprised. XPXU is actually pretty liquid. It's not QQQ liquid, but it's pretty liquid. All right, it's pretty liquid. Let's see if I can show this. Yeah, it's not QQQ liquid, but it's pretty liquid. All right, it's pretty liquid. All right. Let's see here. This is SPXU. Clear that. April 21st. See how cheap these are, though? I mean, these are really cheap. You got to really load up on these, man. And I'm not a big fan of these spreads. This is a 10-cent spread. 10 cent, 10. Man, I like, you want to get something tighter than that. You want to do something like a QQQ. Or just go with an SPY. Why would you, just go with a nice SPY? Yeah, this is a lot better. All right. 260. Man, look at that. You can see guys just were not. Nobody expected this. SPY is 263, And as you can see here, very little. Well, this is probably changed, right? This is. I doubt, open interest. This is open interest. I doubt it looks anything like this. Yeah, let's go into. Hold on. Let's go. Change the date. Yeah, this is very. Yeah, this is definitely changed. This is probably in the thousands now. But nobody was expecting. Very few people were expecting these prices to even be talked about at these levels right now. As you can see, guys ran into the puts today. Look at the open interest on the puts. And we talk about how, when the stock is selling off, right? Investment funds, private investors who can't liquidate positions of the size that they control, they will run into SPY puts to hedge against a loss. To hedge against the loss. All right? I forgot the name of the gentleman who wrote the book, The Intelligent Investor. I forgot the name of the gentleman who wrote that book. But he has not the original one, but the remake. Because the remake has chapters from newer professors, and that professor has his own book, but it's not coming to my head right now. But that was one of the things he quotes in that, how funds will run to buy SPY puts to hedge any gains in the market during a sell-off, intraday sell-off. All right. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, and we can do a vertical too if you guys want to see that, unless you guys have any option trades you want to put on. It's too late to put on something now. I mean, it's too late to put on something now. Obviously, they expire tomorrow. I wouldn't even dare put on something like that tomorrow. Not in my wildest dreams. But you said 263. You say, oh, well, I guarantee the market is going to sell. Let me see here. 39 cents. Nope, that's definitely not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. Buy the 262. Sell the 263. Is it being less than 260? You get the credit. Here's a put vertical. If the price of SPY winds up being less than 26.31, your maximum premium, that's a decent bet. That's a decent bet. Now you would only do this if you expect the pain to continue, right? Let's go this a little bit higher because we're going to need more contracts on that one. We're going to need more contracts than that one. Let's do 20 each. And I would never do this on the day before expiration. That's kind of, that's really ballsy. All right, so here's a sell vertical. You're selling some calls, expecting a price to go lower. So your credit is $640 for the trade. You get this maximum credit if the price of SPY winds up being less than 262.32. Your maximum possible profit is $640. All right. The cost of the trade, if it goes against you, winds up, if SPY beans ends up being greater than 262.32, your maximum possible loss is $360. It's $360. So no, you're not going to keep that 640. You actually start to lose money on the trade. Yeah, that's too ballsy the day before expiration. I would never do anything like that. That's just way too ballsy. That's way too ballsy. But that would be something you would look at the beginning of the week, right? I mean, imagine if you had put that on that trade. You put a trade on that for, 265 or 266. You would sell that today. You would sell that today. And we can look at the SPY, right? You look at the SPY, and Again, hindsight is 2020. So, you know, give me a little bit of a break on that. Let's go to the hourly. All right. Oh, the hourly actually showed you a shorting opportunity way back on the 13th when you broke below the 50 RSI here on the hourly. Anybody who watches my videos, you saw, look at that. Look at that opportunity back there. Damn, let's go back to the daily. All right. Cross. 50 RSI fail. The 50 RSI fail. This is where you would have said, oh, let me get my short position. Here is March the 19th. March the 19th. Yeah, 272, right? So 272.56. Let's say you put on 272.56. You would have put on an option, a call spread option like we did today at that 272. So tomorrow, with the market going in at 263, almost $10, you would have been definitely gotten that full credit. You would have definitely gotten that full credit. If it didn't go your way, 360 was your loss. 360 was your loss. All right, and I know somebody in here, including me, has lost more than $360 this week. Obviously, I've had some, you know, it was a profitable week for me, but not every week. Not every week. Gerardo, you said you made hell of a money on puts on Amazon. That's what's up. Amazon puts make a shitload of money. Amazon puts make a shitload of money, bro. Amazon options, period. Calls and puts make a shitload of money. And by the way, speaking of Amazon, I got a really great idea on Amazon, but Amazon does have a lot of meat on that bone, man. That's the scary thing about it. But the call verticals going the other way are pretty nice on Amazon. You know, they're pretty nice on Amazon. Let me see here. On Amazon, if you go out a little bit, you know, Amazon is very, very expensive. But again, when you're using those verticals to make it cheaper, it can really do some things for you. And you probably really don't even have to go that far out. You see some of that. You see where 1600. See that 800. All right. So I like this trade right here. Ah, man, that's some big ass risks though. Shit. That's some big ass risk though. Sure. Let me put it back on so you guys can see. So this is Amazon. I'm looking at the September 21st $18 call. I mean September 21st 18. Right. Amazon right now is at 1544. You don't want to go out too far out, so I'm going to say like the 1580s. These 1580s, 1560s. So I'm going to sell the 1580 to buy the 1560s. I figure Amazon could definitely make $20 by September. Right? You know, and I'm being very bullish right now. I'm saying to myself with a trade like this that I don't care what's going on right now. I think the market's still going to do well and blah, 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 right? That's what you would be saying to yourself. And this is basically a take it or leave it kind of trade. Oh, all right. So this is basically a take it or leave it. But your profit potential is 100%. This is probably a little bit too far out. This is probably too far out. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. For the profit potential is a bit too far out. Let's go April 20th. See, even April 20th seems too close. Even April 20th seems too close. Let's go May 18th. May 18th. I want to do a similar thing. I'm going to sell the 1580 and I'm going to buy the 1575. That's a little bit better. I would do a trade like that. That's a fair trade. That's a nice call. That's a nice call. So you're basically saying If Amazon winds up being greater, and by the way, this is just one contract. You can increase this, right? This is just one contract. If Amazon ends up being greater than 1577.35 by May 18th, your profit is 265. If it doesn't work out, if Amazon ends up being less than 1577, your maximum profit potential is 235. So a 100% guaranteed profit for Amazon to move up $33. $33. So for $33 in approximately, what is that? How many days is that? 60 days. Your profit potential is 100%. Profit potential is a guarantee. Well, not guaranteed because nothing is guaranteed, but it's 100%. Now that's a little bit too cheap, so I'd probably go a little bit higher in that. Add about 5 contracts to that. Put some meat on that muscle. Yeah, I would do that. That's a nice trade for $35. And I know, put on a trade like this looks hella scary right now, right? It looks hella scary right now, but you're not going to get, if the market was going in the right direction, you would nowhere near get this kind of return. They show you like, 600, 400 or some shit like that. That's what you would probably see. Said your strike price was 1,300. Amazon game on. I just like the fact that Amazon owns Twitch. I just like the fact they own Twitch. TLT April calls. That's what's up. And by the way, don't forget, man, if this market really is turning the other way, you got to run to some of these stocks that, should be doing better if it is a full turnaround, which is Dollar General. I played that. That came down a little bit today, but this is typically a stock that runs very well if it is truly a quote-unquote beginning of a recession. I think that's a little bit strong of a language to use. But CNBC, they how they do. All right, so let me go ahead and wrap up the show and we'll get up out of here. It's been a solid week, ladies and gentlemen. Solid week. Great trades, whether you're a short-term trader, if you're someone who trades options, I think and you went long. I think you got caught off guard on some trades this week. Email me, happypennystocks@gmail.com. I send those free videos out on my thing. You can be able to, really use technical analysis on even some of these shorter term time frames. I don't like going anything less than 5 minutes, but hourly on options is really, really great. And you can kind of prevent yourself from kind of getting caught off guard from these stocks that turn around, because options, you really can't kind of catch the move ahead of time. You really kind of can't catch the move ahead of time. Here's MU. Here's MU. All right, and some of the other ones, CAD. Many other option plays that we've been looking at. Bat Scientist is still in here. I don't know if Bats, you were really fond of Tiffany's for a while. I don't know how you still feel about Tiffany's Bats. I don't know if he's still in here or not. Had a decent run at attempting to go bullish again, but as you see here, it failed that 50 RSI here on the hourly and came back down. So, GIS was another one. GIS, he was an earnings mover. Tried to come back up, failed. General Mills. All right, that's another one. So some really good companies. We also looked at this week GM, right? We looked at GM. All right, but as you can see here, GM failing that 50 RSI stayed there. I mean, basically it attempted to do some things, but insiders buying back. Yeah, that's why, you know, these they're losing now, but you know, this is where you buy calls for down the road. This is where you buy those calls, man. These are the conversation we're having today is the very same conversation we were having, you know, and in February, you know, when we talk about those sell-offs in February. We saw it big time in let me see, I think NVIDIA was a big time loser in February. Where was that at? There it is. You know, NVIDIA, right? You know, NVIDIA came down to 207, dude. 207. And sure enough, a month later, bro, you were $40 a share higher. A month later, $40 a share higher. So don't let this bullshit get to you. Put some risk on the line, folks. Put some risk on the line. Not everything, right? Not everything. Reasonable risk that you're okay with, and even if it's just one contract. Use a vertical to make it cheaper for yourself. If you can't afford it, make itself cheaper. You know, you can bring it down to $1, $2, and you can make it cheaper for yourself. All right, and I can show you an example of that. You know, I can show you an example of that with NVIDIA and VDA. All right, and again, we'll just do the same kind of thing where we did with the May calls. We can look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA right now is 241. And NVIDIA didn't actually lose too hard, but that looks like it's about to break below that 40 too. NVIDIA looks like it's about to break below that 50 RSI. All right. It could be possibly breaking below that 50 RSI. So you'd see what it does tomorrow. And if it sells off another $6, it sells off another $6, you know, that might be an opportunity for somebody to buy a nice call for a rebound. All right. Let's see, sell by the 240s. All right. Ends up being greater than 242, 43. Let's see here. Maybe something deep in the money. Where did it bounce out? 250s? Let's see here. That might not be a bad call here. That might not be a bad call here. Let me say you don't know what to play tomorrow. Nobody. You just got to see what happens, man. Especially if you're talking about the small cap stocks, you just got to see what news is up. You got to see what news is up. Here's NVIDIA. Like I said, you know, you wanted the May 18th. You'd see what this is tomorrow. It looks like it's going to open up red tomorrow. So these 1650s could go down to as cheap as, you know, maybe it could lose $2 if depending on where it opens up at, man. If they lose another $6 tomorrow, these 245s at 16 could go down to 12, even lower. So that's why you don't really want to, you know, you love to buy these at the end of the week, just before the end of the day. But like I said, just by itself, you know, this is a $1,600 trade. All right, $1,600 maximum risk. But you just make it risky for yourself. You say, hey man, it could possibly come back to that level. I'll sell the 250s. That caps your top. All right, and again, just one contract. All right, make it cheap for yourself. You only got a $1,000 account. So this is the call volume, buy call vertical for $223. That's the cost of your trade. So you saved yourself almost $1,400. But in trade for having that cheaper option, you capped off your profits. So You're netting yourself a possible 100% gain on your money if the price of NVIDIA winds up being greater than 247.23 by May 18th. So if NVIDIA can find its way to make $6 by May 18th, your maximum profit potential is $277 on a $223 bet. All right? So that would be something I would look at. That's something I would look at. All right? That's something I would look at. All right? And of course you can make it, you can start with just one at a time like this. So that's not bad of a trade. That's actually a nice trade right there. That actually is a really nice trade for $223. All right, that's actually a really nice trade. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm going to get up out of here. Great trading as always. Great training as always. Great show as always. And I appreciate all you guys. Very light calls today, man. Very light calls today, but it is what it is. I hope you guys were sitting back and enjoying the show. And I'll be back next week, same time, same place. Let me go ahead and ring my bell. God damn, I keep saying I'm going to clear out all these sound effects, but I really do need to do that. Because I got like a million sound effects that I have to look through to make this work. You said you're drunk, you don't want to call? Hilarious. Yes, indeed. Ring the bell. Press like on this video right now. Press like if you're on a computer, a laptop, a phone. Press like on this video right now. I appreciate you. Great show. This is my second show of the day today, man. We were up from 1 to 3. Took a little bit of a nap. Got back up at 8. Traded. Did my groceries. Came back. Now I'm, back to do a night show. Appreciate all of you guys joining me. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Charlotte. I appreciate you. Andrew Gladness. I appreciate you. Ricardo, Joseph, Kelly, Rob. Vincent, I appreciate you, Vincent. Kenny Dutton. Shaquille Emmanuel, appreciate you, man. Bad Scientist, thank you, sir. Stock Z. Victor Pazos, thank you, sir. Mr. Nguyen. Shirley Lewis. Appreciate all of you guys, all my callers. John Rambo, appreciate you, man. Yes, indeed. Hey, look. Tomorrow is option expiration day, man. Things can change, bro. I've told you guys this is a rigged market, bro. You would be surprised. You see a 500% move tomorrow, dude, to the upside, man. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm not saying it couldn't happen. You gotta understand, man. We're playing with billions of dollars. This game is so fucking rigged. But you gotta figure out a way to make it work for you. Jim Gray, DNF Bob, thank you, man. Mission partner. Yes, indeed. See you guys back here, same time, same place, Monday. Until then, happy trading.